Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the lightweight bout between Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. The hot seats from right here is I'm going average confidence Jared Gordon to beat Jim Miller. If Jared Gordon wasn't coming off with a no contest where he got knocked out by a headbutt, my confidence might be high. It probably would still be average, but it definitely have much more potential to be high. But given that he is coming off a no contest, getting knocked out by a headbutt, it can't go any higher than average. I don't think it's going to dip to low, but it can't go anything higher than average. And ultimately, it's going to be average, and I said it's average. So average confidence, Jared Gordon. But how I see this fight going, and based on what I'm judging this fight based off the Selecki fight and Vince Pichel fights that Jim Miller had, and I feel like Gordon can fight a very similar style. Gordon is a very solid fighter. Like you can try to say he's this, try to say that he's that, but what I would say Gordon is he's a very technical, very solid fighter, very game fighter. His chin has failed him, and the fact that he's just not don't really have that great skill to get to the next level as far as become a true elite in this weight class, and like even really be noticed as an elite in this weight class. I think he kind of lacks those intangibles. And like has no real big power. He not no had no real unique style. He don't really have no with no crazy striking, no crazy BJJ. He just don't have nothing that's real stand out about him. But what he does have stand about him is that he can push a good pace. He has probably one of the best paces pound for pound in MMA right now. I don't know if it's dropped, but for the most part, from what I've seen from him, he still probably maintains one of the better paces in MMA right now, pound for pound, with probably top 20. Out of 500, well, thousands of fight, that's pretty impressive. So good pace. His chin has failed him in a lot of his fights. He has lost, but barring getting knocked out, the man can push it pretty much as outworked pretty much every single opponent he has fought. Good all-around skill set. You saw Selecki beat Jim Miller, and like where I'm going with the Selecki and Pichel fights, why I'm referencing those is because I feel it was fights where basically whoever could get the top position in that round would pretty much hold it for the majority of that round and won it. So like Selecki fight was a case of Miller got a round on top basically against Selecki, then Selecki got like 2 rounds on top. Vic Pichel got 2 rounds on top, Jim Miller got 1. And I feel like it could be a similar fight, but I don't think it's gonna be. I don't feel like Miller gonna do a good job of getting um Jerry Gordon down. I feel like Gordon will do a good job of stuff his takedowns, maybe hold him to 2 or less takedowns, and be able to pop back up to his feet. I'll work him, and then mix maybe his own takedowns on a tired Jim Miller, and this really started to drain the clock down. I mean, wind the clock down, get the top position. He's competent on top. He was able to hold Selecki down and neutralize his submission. He'll be able to hold Jim Miller down and neutralize his submission. I think the only submission I have concern for with Gordon going against Selecki, I said Gordon going Selecki, Gordon going against Miller is really that guillotine. If he's able to really either prevent the guillotine from being initiated or is able to pass to side control or maybe even get to half guard, I think Gordon should be good. And also Gordon has been a pretty hard guy to sub. He got submitted by what's his name? Grant Dawson, who's a very young, big, talented stud, but I don't think Miller at this point in his career, he's not where Grant Dawson is as far as overall. So all I'm saying, I feel like Gordon should be able to cover Miller on the feet. He should be able to cover him on the ground. Just got to respect a couple things, be looking out for the guillotine, and just avoiding the big shots from Miller and just really big shots in well. Don't have to go power with power. Just touch him a little bit, draw his big shots, and then make him miss or catch it on the guard, and then they start to really drag him beyond the first round, and his chances of finishing going to be less and less. Like Miller's a guy who's always game and can always finish you, but your odds gonna be safer and safer the longer you take the fight in, and then you'll be also especially be safer on the ground as the rounds go in to just drain the clock out, score the takedowns, ride at top position, and beat him by decision. So in this one, I got Jared Gordon via decision.